Hey guys, today we're talking about how to get more milk out of your breast pump. I have been breastfeeding and pumping so much over the past few years. First, I breastfed and pumped for my daughter Reese until she was 18 months old. And now with my second daughter, Everly, we are 6 months into our breastfeeding and pumping journey. So I have learned so much along the way. I have looked into so many things about getting more milk out of your pump, and I'm excited to share everything I've learned with you. First, you're gonna wanna make sure that you have the right sized flange. The flange is this right here. If it's too wide, then you're not gonna get much milk and have poor suction. If it's too small, you're also not gonna get much milk and you're probably gonna be in pain. So you need to make sure you have the right size phalange. A lactation consultant can help you measure, or I'll link something down below to help you measure. But the key here is measuring your nipple and not your areola. And when you measure by millimeters. So this one here is a 25 millimeter, and that's what it looks like. Next, you're gonna want to pay attention to your settings. Most of us are gonna do best when we do a letdown mode for a couple of minutes and then switch to expression mode. So a letdown mode stimulates a letdown. And a letdown is the reflex that tells your breast to, okay, start letting milk out. So some of us will feel like kind of a tingling feeling, or your breast will just feel really full. Some people might not feel anything at all, but you will start the milk to start flowing. A letdown mode has those fast, quick sucks like a baby does. So when a baby starts nursing, they do some fast, quick sucks to stimulate a letdown. And so you want your pump to do that too. So pumps will call it different things. Some pumps may call it a stimulation mode. Some pumps may call it a letdown mode. Some pumps may call it a massage mode. All of those generate a letdown. I would stay on your letdown mode for around 2 minutes, or just until you definitely see some milk flowing, feel a letdown. Then you're gonna switch to expression mode. Once you're on expression mode, you want to make sure you have it turned up enough. You don't want to be in pain, but I would say slightly uncomfortable is a good place to be. If you don't turn your pump up enough, one, you're going to be pulling the milk out so incredibly slowly. You're probably not going to empty yourself well, and it's going to take such a long time to actually get the milk out. So you want to turn it up to where you're feeling a nice, strong suck, but not in pain. Being in pain can actually make you produce less milk because you're gonna be all stressed out and tensed out. So you just wanna be feeling a nice, strong suck. You wanna make sure you're pumping long enough. Now this is something that's gonna differ from person to person. Some women will go completely empty after 10 minutes. Some women might need a full 25 minutes. And so once you are completely empty, your breasts are soft, no more milk is coming out, you feel empty, then go ahead and pump an extra 2 minutes. This will make sure that you are completely empty, and it will actually stimulate your breasts to go ahead and keep making more milk. Then optionally, you can actually switch back to letdown mode, and that may make you have another letdown and tell your body to go ahead and start creating more milk. And that could actually get you another ounce or two if you do a couple minutes on letdown and then switch to expression again. This trick can be a total game changer when it comes to getting more milk out of your pumping sessions. So just to repeat, do your stimulation mode, do your expression, keep it going an extra 2 minutes, switch back to letdown mode, then expression mode, and you can get a whole extra ounce or two or more. While you're pumping, it's great if you can be looking at pictures of your baby, maybe even bring in some of their baby clothes and nuzzle them up to your face and smell them. Thinking of your baby, seeing your baby, smelling your baby, all these things can help you make more milk. While you're pumping, you want to be in a place that you're relaxed. So if at all possible, turn off the work screen. Don't think about anything stressful. Having a relaxed, calm feeling can also help you produce more milk. While you're pumping, doing compressions can actually help. So doing kind of this motion with your breast without messing with the phalange. So if this is your breast, just kind of doing this can actually help you produce more milk, and it can help you get the milk out faster. So it's definitely worth a try. Instead of compressions, you can actually use a lactation massager. So this vibrates and you can put it on your breast while you're pumping, and it can help make more milk. This also has a warming mode, so warmth can also help you get more milk out. So you can use one like this, or you can just use like heating pads or a warm blanket or towel just on top of it, and that can help you produce more milk as well. Make sure that you are replacing your breast pump parts. So now these pump parts can get old and get worn down, and it's recommended that you replace them often. So look into whatever pump you have and how often the parts are going to be replaced. Obviously, if you're exclusively pumping, you know, around the clock, you're going to have to replace your parts a little more often than if you just pump occasionally. But something to keep in mind in here, this is called a duckbill valve, and these have to be replaced quite often no matter what pump you're using. And when they get worn out, you can lose some suction. So make sure that your parts are being replaced frequently, and definitely pay attention to these duckbill valves. You want to make sure that you're pumping on a regular schedule. A regular schedule will help you so much, not only with just comfort, but with your milk supply. You need to be telling your body to be making milk and be making milk frequently, and having a pumping schedule and sticking to that and not skipping pumping sessions is going to be huge. So as an example, when I'm at work, my pumping schedule is 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and 2:30 p.m. I picked that schedule, one, because it just kind of works with my work day. Also because I want to be getting 3 pumps in, because my baby eats 3 times while I'm away from her. That is something good to keep in mind. It's great if you can pump once for each time your baby eats while you're away from them. If you are just not bringing home the amount of milk that you want to be bringing home, say you really wish you could bring home around 12 ounces a day and your 2 or 3 pumps a day are just not cutting it, consider adding a pump. If you can. I know it's hard with work, but what I'm actually able to do is I'm able to just close my office door, strap on my pumps, and keep working. It's great if you can take an actual break, but if you can't, I mean, that's an idea if you have a sit-down office job. But say if you're pumping 3 times a day instead of just pumping 2, you're gonna get a lot more milk at the end of the day, and that's gonna be great for your supply because you're having 3 letdowns instead of 2. You're filling up 3 bottles for baby instead of 2. You're gonna definitely have more ounces at the end of the day. When you're pumping throughout your day, it is totally normal for your first pump of the day to be that grand slam, great pump, and then you produce less as your day goes on. We're all like that. It's nothing to worry about. As an example, for me, my first pump of the day, sometimes I get around 8 ounces. My second pump of the day, maybe it's 4 or 5. My third pump of the day is maybe 3 or 4 ounces. And I have a 6-month baby, and I like to send her 5-ounce bottles. So it usually ends up just enough. If I'm short, I have a freezer stash. And if I'm having one of those days where I'm just producing a ton of milk, then I just add a little milk to my freezer stash. So that's how I do it. You also want to pay attention to the kind of pump you're using. Different women are going to respond better to different pumps because different pumps have different kinds of sucks and suctions. And so if one pump you've tried absolutely everything and it's just not working out, maybe consider buying a different pump. This one's pretty affordable. It's the Amita Maya Joy, and I've liked it. I've also really liked the Lansino Signature Pro, and that one's affordable. Both of these you can plug in, or you can use batteries. So something to keep in mind with a pump where you can use batteries is it's gonna be stronger when you have it plugged in. So if you have it on batteries, definitely turn up the suction more than you would normally. That brings me to wearable pumps. I love my wearable pumps. I have the Mom Cozy S9, 12, M1. These do work great for me. I use them on massage mode 2 minutes, switch to expression mode. Something to keep in mind with these is definitely make sure you have the right flange size. That's a huge deal. Also, with all of these wearable pumps, you're gonna need to pump longer than you would with your electric plug-in pump, and you may have to just make sure that you have it turned up to a really nice suction, because if you don't have it turned up enough and if you don't use it long enough, you're not going to get the same amount of milk as you would your traditional pump. I also want to mention the Haka because this is really helpful, especially in the beginning of your breastfeeding journey. A lot of us are really leaky and have really strong letdowns when we have newborns, and so this is a really good way to build up your freezer stash. So at first thought you just squeeze it and stick it on, but you'll get more milk if you actually pull this back, squeeze it, put that on your breast, and then release. You'll get more milk out of your Hakas silicone milk collector doing it that way. Now let's talk about just boosting your supply. So you can try doing a power pump once a day. This will get you, one, a lot of milk, and two, will definitely boost your supply. Once you get to a good place with your supply, I wouldn't keep doing the power pumping because you don't want to be a crazy overproducer and like have to pump, and if you don't, you could get clogged ducts and mastitis. Ugh. If you want to try a power pump, how you do it is you pump 20 minutes, 20 minutes off, pump 10 minutes, 10 minutes off, pump 10 minutes, pump 10 minutes off. So a total of an hour. You'll get a lot of milk. Your supply will be much stronger the next day likely. It's a great way to boost your supply and get a lot of milk in for one day. If you're trying to boost your supply and you're also nursing, for a couple nursing sessions, you can pump right after nursing, and that will definitely increase your supply. So say you're nursing and your baby's done, then put your pump on, pump 10 to 20 minutes, and you may not get a ton of milk, but your supply will definitely increase. You can also try lactation products, lactation teas. I really like Booby Latte. It's like a coffee lactation drink. You can eat lactation cookies, make lactation cookies. Those lactation products can give you a little boost, especially if you eat them like an hour before pumping. Also, in general, make sure you're drinking a ton of water. Breastfeeding mamas need a ton of water, and if you're not taking care of yourself and eating enough and drinking enough, your supply is gonna dip. So it's very important. Last, I would just say to keep your goals realistic. It is totally normal and a wonderful thing to be a just enough pumper. So that means to be producing just enough for baby. I know on social media there's all these pictures of these crazy freezer stashes, and you know, like, it's great if you're producing just enough for your baby. That is awesome. And it's normal to be producing less when you have a newborn than you would a 6-month-old, because your 6-month-old needs more milk, so your body is going to be making more milk then later on. So just keep that in mind too. Okay, that will be it for this video. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions or want any advice, feel free to drop it in the comments. I monitor my comments frequently. If you see any mamas that have any questions and you know the answer, feel free to reply. Please subscribe if you have not already. Please follow me on my social media, and I will see you in my next video.